Welcome back to another episode of me gushing about old video games on the Game Boy. Or really other systems, because I was kind of gushing about River City Ransom a lot last episode. If by a lot you mean like 20 seconds, but whatever, it still counts. So now we're in the jungle, and this is where it becomes a lot like Donkey Kong Jr., actually. So you notice all the vine grabbing, it even has the same vine grabbing mechanics, where you can use two arms to climb up faster, or just one to fall down faster. And we also get introduced to a new item, the springboard, which is worth a lot more trouble than it needs to be sometimes, but it works fine there. So it just works like any other... Actually, have we even experienced any other springboards yet? It works like a springboard in other Mario games, let's just put it that way. Also, I kind of screwed up and saved at the wrong point during practice again, which is why I'm like 5 lives ahead of where I was at last time. This also preemptively saves me from 69 jokes, so I'm a little grateful for that, actually. Gotta avoid the cannon flowers. What kind of jungle grows flowers that just shoot petals or seeds at you to try to kill you? Is there actually a plant that does that? Because that would actually be kind of badass. Because, I mean, I know there's already, like, Venus flytraps. Ah, yeah! Alright, listen to the song for a sec. This is the monkey song. This is where we start getting moving vines, essentially. We just had to use these monkey tails as vines, and if you hold on to like a little wall or something else, you completely miss, apparently. If you grab them both, they start squeaking, but they also stay in place, which is kind of good for later puzzles. But for now, let's just stop the animal abuse before we get PETA on our ass again. You know, like last time. What was that game that PETA did a while back? The Super Tanuki Bros or something like that? Where they were talking about how Tanuki fur is murder? I don't even want to get started on that. Like, PETA makes interesting choices in what they protest against sometimes, especially when it comes to the video game medium. So, now if you look to the left under Donkey Kong, you will notice Donkey Kong Jr. is in this game. So, depending on which version of Donkey Kong lore you believe, and I can't believe I just uttered that sentence, that is either... How'd I dodge that? No, I'm stuck! Damn vine! Depending on which version of Donkey Kong lore you believe, that Donkey Kong Jr. that's jumping around is actually the Donkey Kong from Donkey Kong Country, or our tie-wearing friend is Donkey Kong from Donkey Kong Country, and that's just a junior. I don't know. I like to think the fact that I'm fighting Cranky Kong. I always liked Cranky Kong. That dude... He was always ridiculous, really, and I especially like him in Donkey Kong Country Returns when he sells you an item, he's like, whee! I think that's the sound he makes. I should finish that game. Anyways, I'm unfortunately at the mercy of Junior. I have to wait for him to pull the switch before I can jump into a spring and die. That's what I get for rushing. Let's just skip ahead unless this goes crazy fast. Oh, great. I didn't avoid the 69 joke. Damn it. There we go. You can never escape the 69 joke. It's just the worst. Much like how this cutscene's probably going to dictate how the comments are going to be for the rest of the video. I'll just... Anyone who watches Runaway Guys or Chugga Conrad, I'll let you get it out of your system now. Just go ahead. Go ahead, you get it out of your system. You good? Good? Everyone good? Good. Good, we're good. And 69's gone, so we're good. No more stupid jokes. Except for everything I say. Oh, 619. Case in point. Alright, now we're introduced to vampire bats, which are exactly what you think they are. They're blood-sucking bats. They won't actually kill you. They'll drain your blood and they will knock you unconscious, but you will still stay alive. The only thing they do is they make you fall down, so if you're not careful, they'll actually kill you by dropping you off a bottomless pit, or dropping you into a pit, or just dropping you a very high distance. Oop. That guy. Oop, no, go down before it disappears. There we go. So, really, they're not that much of a threat if you're careful. And that's really the MO of the way I've been playing is not playing careful, so they're probably going to be actually a huge threat. Like they are in this stage. So this is the stage where I'm going to have to deal with spiders and these, I don't know if have I actually talked about the little tiny platforms? I haven't used those yet either. So those are quicksand spaces where obviously if you touch them, they just immediately start to disintegrate. So they'll disappear like that. And then we've got these guys here, which are just little tiny platforms, 1 squares. So you got to use them, place them in the right spot, and use them carefully. So I'm gonna what you should normally do, and what I normally did, you place them here and here to try to get the spiders on a different platform, so you don't have to worry about it. You can climb the ladder and just be safely moving around. But it's actually a little bit easier if you do it this way, because then you can just completely ignore them and leave them on the one space. Plus, you can also watch the little vampire bat just kind of float around. You can kill them with the key, by the way. You can kill certain enemies with a key. I think some are immune. I don't know which ones. But the majority of them can be crushed by the key, especially all the flying ones. Oh no, here we go. More Switch madness. I think Donkey Kong Jr. becomes somewhat of a regular. You're going to see him at least a couple times in a couple stages here. He's either going to be messing around with a switch like this, or he's going to be throwing poisonous mushrooms, or I guess mini mushrooms. So, yeah, that joke's not going to die at all during this whole LP. Oh, God. Oh, no, get away from the door. Oh, no. Oh, that worked. And it made him disappear, too. Sweet. I'm a wizard. Mario disagrees. Alright, second section of the jungle boss fight. Let's see here. This is... Oh, shoot, if I was fast enough, I could have gotten up there. Okay, so now Donkey Kong's going to be throwing these at me, and the thing is, when you're small, you cannot climb vines like so, and you can't do any of your flip jumps or anything like that. All you can do is standard jump. Basically, it makes you half your size, and all you can do are standard Donkey Kong arcade moves. So it's kind of a pain in the ass sometimes, especially to have to wait for the right moment to climb. And since there's only one vine here, you've got to be attacked at the specific time, otherwise it'll get you. But if you shrunk, you can actually fall in that hole there. So if you time it just right, which of course I'm not timing it right. That was, speaking of timing, that was too close. Get out of here, monkey man. Give me the next cutscene. This is going to introduce hammer throwing, which honestly I actually have not had to use at all. But yeah, you throw the hammer in midair, and you can climb ladders or do jump up platforms. So it's actually a really helpful thing, and I kind of wish they had moved it into Smash Brothers, but at the same time, that would totally break the hammer in Smash Brothers if you could do it there. More monkeys! The monkey song's back. Sorry, like I've been gushing about the music a bunch. Like that's one of my favorite songs is the monkey song, and also the, as I mentioned in a previous episode, the Time Is Running Out song by Muse. Not quite. Uh-oh, this is not gonna work. Shoot, I need that monkey to come back. That was too slow. Unless I can get here in time. Pull it! Yes! There we go. So what you have to do is make this guy fall down here, move this switch so now that door's open, and then you just ride the monkey. So I will ride the monkey while waving my hand and foot. Okay, what I actually don't get, why does he wave his foot? Like, is that him, like, that's him obviously reaching for, like, a vine, trying to find something to grab. But why would you reach out with your foot to grab a vine? Or maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm not hardcore enough to know what it's like to actually be jumping from vine to vine. I ain't no regular Tarzan. I'm a classy white boy. Middle class white boy, alright. I think that's it for the monkeys for a while. Alright, so, because instead, now we have to deal with frogs. So the way the frogs work is, they don't actually, I don't think they can actually do damage to you. But if you jump on them, they'll jump up high. So what you have to do is use these guys to reach new platforms. And of course, avoid the chompers. Ooh, and speaking of chomper, I killed one with the key. I didn't even realize he was there. Oh, perfect. That's the one that usually screws up my jumps. There we go. We're good. Although, if one of those chompers touches you when you have the key in your hand, it's just stun lock. The only problem is stun lock when you're on the ground, like, writhing around in pain, lasts a while. So, more often than not, if one of those chompers stun locks you, you're probably going to die to him. Okay, and here we have the first level where Donkey Kong Jr. is just going to be hucking mushrooms at us. So we have to make sure that we don't get... Oh, there we go. I was wondering for a second why he wasn't throwing anything. Look at that little dance he does. It's so majestic. And thankfully he didn't get me. Weird. Some of the parts of the game are dictated somewhat randomly, but sometimes it feels like it's not. Like, I've done practice sessions on some of the stages. Like, let's take, for example, the cement factory. The second stage of the game. Most of the time I played that stage, flames would be on the right side, and I could just flip up the left with no problems at all. During my actual recording runs, they kept showing up on the right, or showing up on the left, so I kept getting hit by them. So it actually became a bit of a headache for a while to try to get proper luck. And shimmy down that vine really fast, Mario, even though you have to go up anyways. And here we go. Now we're leaving the jungle. That went by a lot faster than I thought it would, to be honest. And here introduces the Super Hammer. Brawl fanatics would know this weapon very well. This is the golden hammer, essentially. However, there are two different major differences to it besides the color. One, it is a respawning hammer, as you notice by the little outline there. If you use it and it wears out, it will appear there again. And two, it breaks bricks, which you're going to need to do some puzzle solving with. As we fly from the jungle, or run apparently, all the way to Egypt to go to the desert and rock out to some sweet Egyptian music. I think more than anything, this LP is reminding me how much the music in this game just kind of kicks ass, even for a Game Boy game. Because, I mean, Game Boy games are usually hit or miss in music. Sometimes they'll be close, and sometimes they'll just be, what are you trying to do? What is this? So, it's nice to just hear a game just have a fantastic soundtrack, even with hardware limitations. That's why people like chiptune music. It's because if you can make good music, you can make good music with anything, even, like, limited hardware. And sometimes it's more fun to try to make music with limited hardware. There we go. Thank you. Okay, so we're gonna knock out the desert, and then we're gonna be done for this episode, but clearly I have a lot of stages left. And ignoring my shenanigans by accidentally giving myself lives, or losing lives, depending on which episode you're talking about. Oh, what? Okay, that's not the throw I wanted. Shoot. I was trying to knock out the second enemy so he would fall down and kill this enemy here. Because this guy is a bit of a pain! That was lucky. In the ass. But there we go. Good job, Super Hammer. Let's get out of here. But yeah, I'm almost going to be at maximum lives at this point. And as you guys have been seeing, I've been skipping the items. So, the game is really flush with lives, so you shouldn't have any problem actually beating the game. I guess it's just whether or not you can figure out some of the puzzles or not. Egypt, or desert, I'll just call it the desert, actually has at least one tricky puzzle stage. And even then, I guess the term is relative, depending on how good you are at figuring out the trick to it. But we will be getting to, I think that's like the second last stage of Egypt, and we're almost, this is 9-3. Yeah, put a ladder there, why not? It'll add to the decor. That skull, we'll go climb it. Really weird enemy choice for like a Mario game too, just a skull throwing bones. Like you wouldn't, I don't think you'd see that in any other Mario game. Like Kid Icarus, you're gonna see it in Kid Icarus, obviously, but that was a regular enemy. Oh, I gotta get crushed! Well, good thing I got 91 lives left. Okay, let's try that again. Nope. Don't crush me, don't crush me! I sounded legitimately scared there, jeez. There we go, much better. Maybe I should have tried wall jumping, actually. I probably could have gotten up there faster if I just wall jumped. And then again, that would require me actually getting that locked down. Speaking of jumping, I think they've for the most part, they stopped introducing new mechanics now, and they're just kind of little goofy cutscenes. Like, you don't actually hurt your head if you hit the ceiling during a flip. So they're just like, oh, that wacky Mario. Or, like, if you remember Pac-Man's cutscenes, like the arcade Pac-Man, it's just kind of the same concept, really, so. Alright, where are we going now? We're gonna get to rock out some music. Okay. So, this stage has 100 seconds. Yeah, get it out of your system. And it's probably one of the harder ones. This is one that requires a lot of precision. Well, not really a lot, just a tiny bit of precision. What you need to do is throw the key through there and get back fast. Sure, I'll take the hammer too, why not? Get back fast enough that you can pick up the key before it disappears. So, this is probably more often than not, if you can't lock down like the flipping and timing fast enough, this is the first stage you're gonna legitimately run out of time. Oh, and here we go, having to depend on Donkey Kong again. Well, this one's not as bad. All he's doing right now is just reversing the conveyor belts here, which is partially convenient and partially bad because I'm about to turn into flames! Never mind, I'm good. Sweet. I don't even need a hammer anymore then in that case. So we'll open the gate. Ignore these. Actually, no, we'll kill these guys. These are giant ears. Imagine if you could use... Like, they're using their ears basically to cover their eyes so they can sleep, but imagine if you had ears that big you could cover your eyes. That's just messed up, man. Science and stuff. Although I guess elephants technically do. Let's turn this into a biology lesson. No, let's actually not, please. Okay, so now we have to climb a pyramid. You didn't think we were gonna get through a desert stage without having some sort of pyramid reference, right? 'Cause you're crazy. You're crazy if you thought otherwise. And I'm crazy for almost getting shot. So now what we have to do, you can use the brick to get up, or if you know how to backflip, you don't even need to worry about it. So I don't even know really why that's there. I guess you can use it to get the items on the side, but I don't even think you really need that either, because there's a springboard there, and I'm pretty sure you can just, yeah, you can just climb up a ladder. You don't actually need that thing unless you accidentally break those squares I just walked under. Alright, so this one is going to be just a standard race, I believe. Yep. This is actually more traditional Donkey Kong-ish. It's actually like dodging barrels, so... And landing on them, apparently, because that's always a smart thing to do. Remember, kids, jump on rolling barrels. It's Mario... Mario tested, Donkey Kong approved. Oh, you would go down the ladder, too. Okay, there we go. Much better. I like how there's just hieroglyphics built into the wall and barrels built into the wall. Why not? Where does he get all his barrels from? I like how I'm questioning this. I'm legitimately questioning where a giant monkey wearing a tie that says his name on it, or his initials, where he gets a giant infinity stack of barrels. And where he keeps wandering around constantly. How did he know how to get to Egypt from the jungle? These are important questions I'm asking, I swear. Clearly, clearly Nintendo logic at its finest. Okay, here we go. This is one of the two tricky stages. Well, relatively. What you have to do is there's 3 switches, and you just have to turn them on in the right order so you can actually get back and get your key. But you gotta be careful, of course, that these things don't come down and crush you, which usually happens. Okay, so there we go. We got the key, but if we go this way, we're locked out. So what we're actually gonna have to do is a bit of backtracking. So we close this one, so that frees that back up. But we can't take the shortcut there. The shortcut is basically there to taunt you. So now we have to close this switch, because then that will let us put that back up so we can go take the elevator that we had over here earlier, because it should be going I hope it's going down, otherwise it's gonna look... Okay, there we go. Because it's going down, we can just write it down. I think this third switch is what makes it go up, so had I not done that, would have been screwed. So, let's exit the stage, and I don't think this is the hardest puzzle coming up. I think we're one stage away from the hardest puzzle. Oh, and I got a bonus stage for all 99 lives I have, so whatever. We'll just skip this. Or take in those extra 2 lives, why not? Yeah, that did a lot. 99's the maximum, it doesn't count over, even like secretly, so... Oh shoot, no. Okay, so this is the puzzle. We have 6 items, as you can see on screen. Well, you can't now, but we have to get our way up there using all those items. So what we're going to do is I'm going to see if I can do this right. Now, if I can get the key up there, yep. I can just put a ladder here, so I can get up to the key, no problem. And then we're going to put the springboard. Actually, yeah, about there. We'll put it about there. Let's grab the key. I actually don't even need you, and probably having done that's going to screw that up, so I'll put you over there. You, on the other hand, I am going to need. I'm going to want you about there. Hope I... Ah, shoot, I judged poorly. I can't... You can't do an extra jump off of that, unfortunately, so... No, I can't salvage this. Damn it. This else is probably going to kill me. No? Alright, so let's try this over again. So... Fast forward. Okay, so the problem is I set that last one a little too high. So I think I had it about there. So let's try one below that. And we'll take an extra ladder for fun. Okay, so now I can just grab this guy and we are out of here. So that's one of the trickier, actually requiring thought puzzles. And if you want to get the hat and the purse, you have, well, at least the hat, you need to kind of waste a turn going for it. Now see, the door slamming there, that's why I wonder if it doesn't actually require you to beat a stage fast, because I was kind of slow. As you saw, I had to redo the whole thing twice. But then again, no one seems to have really documented how it works. So, alright, this level introduces scorpions to go with the tarantulas we had in a previous stage. So, by blocking that one with the button, or with the little brick, it let me get out of here easily. So, the game doesn't tell you half these things, though, I guess, which in one way is a problem that some people might have with it. Like, some of the tricks you need for the puzzles actually require a little bit of outside special thinking. But, I mean, not too much, at least. Especially if you knew the ladder trick back in, like, World 2. If you knew that trick, then you knew that that would work. But this is the only point where that trick is actually required. And now to fight Donkey Kong, where he finally ran out of barrels and he's throwing sphinxes at us instead. You know what? I guess maybe I should show you this too. So if you try to attack Donkey Kong head on, he just kills you outright. Gives you a big old lump on the head. So I just felt like showing that. I'm gonna gain like a bunch of lives again anyway, so it's not really gonna do any damage. Although now, because I've shown that, I'll probably just kill myself by accident while trying to actually kill him. Or sorry, I can't say kill him. This is a Nintendo game. While I defeat him! Hurry up, monkey. I ain't got time to bleed. Or wait. Hurry up. Whoop, whoop, boy, that was... I almost did die. Look at that. I'm telling you, man. Hubris. I just really like the word hubris. I'm sorry. Alright, we will call it there because now we're going to leave Egypt and get on an airplane. Don't ask me where the airplane came from. Don't ask me why Donkey Kong knew to get on it. Or why Mario was on the wing of the plane. There's something on the wing of the plane. But, next stage is just an airplane. It takes place on an airplane. Well, I say on loosely because I think a bunch of the stages actually take place outside of the airplane. But yeah, there you go. 99 lives. We're halfway through the game. And now we're on the wing of a plane. Or in the engine, apparently. So join me next time where we try not to fall off the wing of the plane. See ya.